As a mountain biker, you are always looking out for ways you can improve your riding and develop your skills. But how do you actually do that? Well, today I'm going to be going through some things that I used to take my riding from this to this. Location, where you actually ride your mountain bike. Now we're all going to have our local trails, mine being the Surrey Hills, and that's where you're going to ride so much of the time. But what's really going to push your riding is trying different places. That could be some super fast, long down hills at Bike Park Wells. That could be some of the crazy steep and rooty stuff in Wales like Smilog, or maybe just some smooth downhill stuff at Swinley Forest like the Berm Trail or Babymaker. This next trail that I'm about to do I find was so good and always is really good at developing my skills because we've got some pretty crazy routes, so you've got to choose your line, got a big log drop at the end, and it just can get pretty crazy and pretty messy. So let's get into it and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let's go into it. This is where line choice can be really important. And the bunny hop. We go down here. Oh, close to the tree. That trail is always so fun. But as you can see, it's one that you can't sort of just ride and just casually and sort of sleep on it. You need to be focused and look at what you're doing. And so it's just so good for learning that so many skills that are going to be so useful for all kinds of riding. Each place is going to have something different to offer, whether that's like the skill level, the steepness, the type of trail, or even type of ground surface that you've got. Riding all those different trails are just going to give you so much more experience, which in turn is just going to make you a far better rider. For anyone who really likes jumps, and if you can, get yourself out to Whistler Bike Park because that place is absolutely amazing for it. Half Nelson, that trail has just got so many jumps that by the end, you will be jumping no matter what. This next one might seem so basic, but it's really effective. And that is finding yourself an open area or a car park and just really practicing some of those simple bike skills and bike control. So I've got myself this nice open area and just really simply, I'm gonna do a few little moves to just work on my bike skills and my bike control. Things like moving the rear wheel with a little hop to line yourself up stuff has been so helpful for me in places like Wales or like Squamish in Canada, because you'll be lining up for stuff at some weird angle and you can just hop it round to line yourself up perfectly and then drop in. You can then progress onto some further skills such as the bunny hop, the manual, and like endos that can be super useful out on the trail. Skills like the bunny hop can be so useful to progress into the next stage you're riding. And if you don't know how to do it, there's a video on my YouTube channel. I'll link it so you can check it out and try and learn it for yourself. So we've got this example here. We're coming along and we've got a big route here, diagonal routes here, and then into the rest of the trail. How you might normally ride it is literally just ride through. However, the route's definitely gonna just slow you down. And especially with that diagonal route as well, if it was wet, it could send you off. See, that way is just so much smoother and so much faster. Got another technical trail here that I found really helped improve my riding. Doesn't matter how many times I ride that trail, it's always just so crazy, and it feels like, because of the braking, the drops just get bigger and bigger every time. But that all adds to just more and more skills, more experience, and better riding. Practice, practice, practice. You've probably heard that just so many times, but it is true, and it's not just for mountain biking. Like anything, the more you do it, the more experience you get, and the better you will become. So same goes for mountain biking. The more you can get out and ride your bike, the better you are going to be. So for me, I try to always get out every weekend. But if I can, I'll do an extra midweek ride just to get in some more riding and some more practice. Something I've actually found is that if I just miss one ride, that can then be about 2 weeks since I'm next on the bike. And then I get on the bike and I just feel like everything just feels a bit weird. It takes a bit of time to get used to. So that's what I'm saying. The more you ride and the more times you go out, you're just going to always be feeling so much better and just really build those skills far, far quicker. Next up, we've got some nice loamy trails. I find these super fun because they've often just got some flat, tight corners. They can get super skiddy and drifty, which is all good bike control, just being able to handle that and be confident with that. So let's get into this one and let's hope we can get to the bottom nice and safely and probably end up all a bit messy. Take the right line today. All of these are getting so overgrown. Can't even see the trail. With the sun recently, everything's just so overgrown. You can barely even see the trail to start with, but still really good. And there's some super grippy bits in the middle, which are so fun. Your mountain bike gear can also be super, super beneficial in helping you on the bike, and specifically all the safety and the protection. And the reason is that mountain biking is massively, massively influenced by confidence. So by having a better helmet with more safety features, some nice knee pads, some good gloves, some grippy shoes, it's just going to give you more confidence on the bike to just push yourself a little bit more. Your mountain bike itself can even be a massive factor in making you a better rider. When I first got my Norco Sight, that was my first full suspension mountain bike, and that really developed my skills. But then I came onto the Canyon, and my skills just accelerated so much quicker. Now that's not me saying to go out and buy a new bike, and as much as you probably want to, and I do too, it's not just about the bike, it can actually be just the components. For example, some nice tyres like some Maxxis or some Michelin tyres can just give you so much more grip, which again is going to give you far more confidence. Or maybe it's the brakes. Having some really, really good stopping power is going to be so much more beneficial, especially when you're on the steep stuff. So again, it's going to give you more control and also more confidence. This is something actually that Dad's experiencing. He recently bought some nice fresh tyres for his e-bike, and straight away he noticed he had far more grip and just far more confidence when he's riding, especially in the wet. This bike is so much quicker now. It's go the up me. Well, now it's got new bearings. I can barely talk. It's just enjoying this trail. The fair weather mountain bikers. Mountain biking does not stop in the winter. And in fact, if you can ride in the winter, honestly, it's going to make such a difference. Being able to ride wet routes and super wet corners and everything like that is honestly just going to make you such a better rider. So don't stop when it gets to the winter, keep on riding all year round. And in fact, the more you ride in general, the better you're going to be, and you're just going to have far more practice and experience. So when you get this super nice weather like we have today, you're going to be flying. Oh, quite a tight corner. My final tip for today is to ride with someone or maybe a group and try to find someone who's better than you, because what's going to happen is that they're going to just do some stuff that you might not see, whether that's a particular line choice or whether that's the way they do a corner. It's just little things like that you're going to pick up on, and then you can do it yourself to improve your skills. When it comes to jumping, this can be so helpful. So a little story I had in Swinley Forest, there was a trail called No Biggie, and this is quite a while back, but I was looking at the jump for ages and just didn't have the confidence to do it. But then I watched someone do it and he offered to let me follow him in. And as I was doing that, I just had that confidence, I knew the speed and I was in the zone, all focused and prepared, and I did it. And I was so happy. And then from then, I could do that jump. So absolutely, this can be such a useful tip. So if you put all of that stuff together, you're going to be well on your way to becoming a better mountain biker. Let me know your progress and how you're getting on in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another ride.